Now let's move to health issues and on the outbreak of Lassa fever. The Ghana Health Service has confirmed a case of Lassa fever at the Tema General Hospital. A press release indicated that a 26-year-old man was rushed to the hospital on February 23 but died on February 28. The confirmation followed a test conducted by the Noguchi Memorial Institute in Accra. The Ghana Health Service is urging the public to report any suspected case of the disease. The Ghana Health Service in February issued an alert of the likelihood of outbreak of Lassa fever in the country. The disease is reported to have already affected several countries in the West African sub-region, with over 300 cases and 31 deaths in Nigeria alone. I'm sure there is more on this Lassa fever issue, so let's cross over to Natalie, who is ready on the touch screen to give us more details.
Yes,
Natalie?
Lisa, there certainly is a lot more information. Like you said, the Ghana Health Service warned, in fact, in February of an outbreak of Lassa fever in the country. So I'm going to run us by what exactly Lassa fever is, because it may sound foreign in the ears of many. Now, it's an acute viral hemorrhagic fever illness, which is endemic in West Africa. And as you saw earlier there, it's in fact affected many in the West African sub-region. There are over 300 cases and 31 deaths already. The incubation period is 6 to 21 days. Now, Lassa fever, the signs and symptoms of this fever, which can lead to death. The early symptoms include a fever and general weakness in the body. After a few days, however, there's headache. The person experiences sore throat and muscle pain, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal pain, and a few other signs. In some severe cases, there's facial swelling and there's fluid in the lung cavity. Bleeding also tends to occur. And late presentation may in fact include shock, convulsion, coma, and multiple organ failure. So like you can see here, it starts with very simple symptoms, which later lead into quite large and dire situations. And so the Ghana Health Service is in fact cautioning and warning the public to check and get that checked early when you see the symptoms. How does the fever spread? Now, Lassa fever is transmitted into humans through contact with urine, saliva, feces, and blood, as well as the blood of rodents. The blood of rodents, which is pretty key here. The disease is endemic, as I said earlier, in rodent population in parts of the West African sub-region. The reservoir for the virus is multi-mammate rat. You see a rat on the image here, and it's in fact transmitted through urine, saliva, feces, and blood of rodents. And so it's clear that it's day-to-day things through which it's transmitted through. And a person-to-person transmission through direct physical contact with body fluids, like that of blood, saliva, stool, vomit, urine, and sweat. And so it's clear here that, in fact, there must be a lot of prevention methods to be taken, and that's why the Ghana Health Service is pretty keen on ensuring that the public knows about this. Now, to round up, can Lassa fever be treated? There is an effective drug for treatment if reported early enough to the health facility center. And how can it be prevented? That's what many of us would want to know. As they say, prevention is better than cure. No human vaccine against Lassa fever. Raising awareness, of course, of the risk factors of the disease and protective measures individuals can take is the only way to reduce human infection and death. And so these are the main points running us through Lassa fever, and the Ghana Health Service has already warned it, has already made a warning of this to the general public, and it's incredibly important that these symptoms, if experienced, are checked upon immediate effect.